over the place because it is. I'm not afraid to say I think this is the best lineup of players I've ever made. I really do think so. Tomorrow we have TY, Classic, Scarlet, and Kalazur. Yeah, that's one hell of a group, right? Monday we have Innovation, Zest, Snoot, and Nurtio. Yeah, that's one hell of a group. And then Tuesday we have Bjorn, Solar, Cyril, and Haas. As this SCV Scout is going to get taken down. Alright, setting up into this game number 1. On Sky Garden, again, one of the interesting maps. As the series go on, by the way, and we get the kind of later map pools, there's going to be the choice of maps which kind of haven't been haven't been used already. And so we are going to start seeing some reader ones as well. We actually still have a good selection of maps to kind of choose from throughout this, so very interesting. There's a lot of bases. Yeah, this is a super large map, obviously because it's kind of, designed to be all spawns. It needs a lot of bases. It's designed to be a lot of bases and obviously kind of ability to play a long game. And you've seen a couple of Reapers here of GuMiho. Optimus is actually going to pick up the couple of Reapers of GuMiho. That's a really nice pickup. Wow, that's actually really sweet. Really nice little pickoff in these early stages. By the way, just to give you guys info again on the map maker, this map was made by New Sunshine. New Sunshine is a map maker who was the creator of Galactic Process. You might remember that map, dubbed as the Cloud Kingdom remake. Yeah, that's going to be the maker of this map here. So obviously has already had maps in the ladder map pool before that you guys have probably played and watched. Pretty sure most of you guys should remember Galactic Process. It wasn't in the map pool that long ago. Actually, it kind of was, wasn't it? Like last year? Oh, time passes so quickly, doesn't it? Alright, well, Optimus going down towards the lower left to get some damage done. We're going to be dropping in here to try and do something. The two Cyclones with the Reapers are actually doing a pretty good job. Marine's already dropping, and now there's a Reaper and two Cyclones against just two Cyclones. A Viking about to pop. Viking will have to land here almost definitely. Optimus is actually he's okay because Optimus picks up quite early on. And we're going to be seeing these two Cyclones going to come in from a little bit of a different direction. Try and poke away at these SCVs. Again, Optimus looking to do damage early with his later expansion. Looking to keep on pressuring his opponent so that he can, justify expanding a bit later and having a lower SCV count from the get-go. Scan just on top of this main base right here. Again, a couple of Cyclones and the Reaper from Optimus. Just going to sit out the front. As a matter of fact, moving forwards too. And again, with a couple of Cyclones apiece here, GuMiho isn't, is going to be able to push this back. Optimus isn't going to be able to do too much more with the siege tank firing, especially Optimus does now have to back away for real. Another Cyclone coming over. He has been going Banshees, by the way, and he's got the first cloaked Banshee right here, right now. Scan is available, but he doesn't want to drop the scan without knowing he's going to be able to get a scan that's really going to kind of kill this Banshee. Ooh, Banshee's actually going to give itself up, really? I'm not sure about that. It would have been great if he actually got the kill, but he didn't get the kill. Oh, but that Cyclone's still low. It hasn't been repaired yet. Obviously, Optimus is limited as to where he can go, though, with the position of the siege tank. He's still doing good damage, though. Optimus putting on a lot of pressure right now, and coming back in. He's going to start elevating those Cyclones out of there. He saves all three of them for now, and the medevac. Optimus is actually really on point so far this game. I know you guys are like, oh god, Optimus, and you kind of come into this like, oh well, we sort of thought Harston might have had a tough time in this group, but instead, Optimus is coming in. God, what chance does he stand? But hey, game number 1 against GuMiho here so far is really kind of making things a bit crazy. You see this Marine pulling back up towards the upper right-hand side. A couple of refineries just going to be finishing up in the natural expansion. And that third CC from Optimus on the way up as well. Raven on the way up from Optimus too. Going to see that new Raven skin, which has just been unlocked with Stage 3 of the War Chest. So that's starting to come on out here. As this Banshee is getting chased away by the Viking. Going to run out of energy in a second. Obviously that will become slightly problematic, I suppose. Because this Viking is still in range. And Banshee 1-2 shot free, but he will have Cyclones here to maybe get a kill, and he scans for it. 4 Cyclones locked on. There's no way that Viking doesn't go down, so at least he gets something out of it. There's a scan just dropping here, and again, just sort of waiting to see what the next stage of this is going to be then. +1 weapons on the way up as we still see this Banshee of Optimus just poking around. Another one coming back in. And again, 42 to 48 workers. Optimus not too far behind. Third CC morphed into an orbital already, and that's the big difference. His third CC is up and again ready to go. So he's about to retake kind of a bit of a better worker position in the game. He's about to get into a spot where he's going to be a bit ahead. He's actually going to go into mech, by the way. 2 more factories on the way down. And Optimus setting up quite nicely here. That scan does get rid of the Banshee. Scan's trading out all over the place. I'm just going to be seeing these cyclones in the tank. Just going to set up here in the natural expansion. Another scan on top of this main. GuMiho keeping up to date with what's going on, and he's going to play bio against this mech style. So let's see how this goes. Funny, because obviously one of the players we almost always expect to play, well, not always, but who we know is well known for being able to play mech, and who does play mech a very regular amount, is GuMiho. So now he's going to be the one getting meched here. And as you see, this factory just going to relocate onto that tech lab. This orbital lifts up, and he's going to keep on moving down to the south side to take the third base. We haven't talked much about expansion pattern on this map. Third base obviously kind of the natural one to take. This forward base, I mean the fourth base actually becomes a bit difficult to defend. It's actually going to be kind of interesting to see how that plays out if we do get there, because right now Optimus does have to find a way to survive a push forwards here by GuMiho. Fighting with these initial cyclones, splitting up. Oh, he's got auto turrets. That's his plan, to be able to fight these tanks properly. One tank goes down already now, and now a second tank is dropping quite quickly. Vikings will land just to help speed this up. And all 3 tanks do indeed fall. Nice pickup on the Vikings just to save them from those Marines. If they try to lift back up, the Marines would have got a kill or 2. And this is a nice cleanup by Optimus, taking a supply lead here while playing the mech playstyle. And GuMiho, so far, is not finding himself the answers. His third CC just about to finish up, but Optimus is taking a 10-worker lead. And that's a lot for him to play with here over the next few minutes. Again, I'm excited to see where the fourth base gets taken by these guys. Central base here is... again, do you take it here? I mean, you can, right? You're a little bit spread out, but this base is very far set back, so it's a little bit safer. And this base here is also kind of, you know, very choked up, so it's kind of an easy base to take, minus the fact it's far away, so there's kind of positives and negatives to it. Again, just going to be seeing these group of Marines and the medevacs going to be coming in towards the third base, or he's trying to. Only a single siege tank here gets 1 shot off, only a second shot just about at the end. Obviously, this is where Optimus might have a little bit of trouble playing mech on this map again, spreading himself out and defending all his bases. Double missile, triple missile turret over here is actually going to get rid of the majority of the medevacs. Wow, he only gets 1, and all the turrets do go down. And that is GuMiho making some pressure and is making something happen to kind of pull himself back into this slightly. A scan from Optimus. Just going to check that GuMiho is not taking this gold base just yet. By the way, this is a full gold base. 1,500 minerals apiece on these golds. Gold base is here as well. Obviously, that's something we're not really thinking of being taken for quite a while right now. Still need to see the players take a fourth base first. I mean, I guess you could maybe take this one as a fourth. Because if you're going to take this base anyways, well, this base is not that much further. Well, it is kind of further away, but it's a bit further set back as well, arguably. So it's also harder for your opponent to push into. Two upgrades on the way up now from GuMiho. Continue to tech up here. That's one thing Optimus is missing. His double armory is only just coming on down. So while a supply lead has been nice for him up until this point, there is reasons for that supply lead. And that definitely does come around, being that sort of idea of, well, you know, you haven't teched into upgrades while GuMiho has. Nice pickup here. GuMiho shuts those units down immediately. That wasn't even like a chance. Like, his Marauders were pre-stimmed, and those units got annihilated. Obviously, the power of the Marine up here on this watchtower giving him that information, and the Hellions just drove on by. So let's double drop bottom right as well. Again, just the watchtowers to kind of make this kind of bottom right-hand side a little bit more kind of holdable for players. The top right, we sort of mentioned this before, is air blocked. So again, it really is kind of more so about kind of, you know, the pathways on the map, not really looking at this dead airspace very much or anything. Going to be seeing this Bioforce going to be coming through the center of the map now here from GuMiho. So he's going to push through for a lot of Marine Marauder. Medevacs are up in the sky as well here. Hellions currently working their way through the CC. We are trying to be able to fourth base on location on this gold. Well, it's not going to be killed off. It is going to be slowed down at least. It is going to be slowed down. Still a lot of bio and obviously dangerous because of the idea of being able to lift up and just drop into the main. And while there is a lot of turrets to the northern side, there's not very many turrets down to this side at all. Hellions, tanks, Vikings, a few Ravens up in the skies, a Liberator too. This +2/+2 upgrade is going to be finishing over the next few moments. Another scan here to the right side. Optimus going to be just being scouted out by GuMiho. He's trying to figure out what's going on, what his opportunities are right now. So many air units though from Optimus, and that might be one of the issues that GuMiho has here in terms of trying to be able to do a little bit more in this game. Bio still moving around as well. More Ravens on the way up as GuMiho starts going to his own air army, and we really are getting quite a lengthy game here for the first game of this series between the players. Hellions, tanks, Vikings and Ravens on the way up. By the way, this is the series, after we see game number 2 of the series, this will be half the maps of the finalists of the TLMC number 9 scene. We're hoping to see at least every map once a day. That's sort of how the event is designed, but it's possible we miss one map potentially. Anyways, you see a good trade from Optimus here originally, I feel. As GuMiho going to now relocate over to the right side. Again, though, GuMiho is just slowly trading off Bio to rebuild into Vikings. Obviously, if you can do some damage while trading that Bio off, it would be nice. GuMiho's going to push forwards, though, and actually Optimus is not going to turn around. He's going to keep on pushing. He's got quite a few tanks on this side. Obviously, the issue is for him that the Calamity Fortress is going to be exposed, and he might lose his 4th base. Optimus should start repairing that kind of soon. These SCVs, and there it is, SCVs will pull in. The tanks are not actually far enough forwards to hit all the SCVs if he just leaves them on the back. Meanwhile, pushing forwards here we see tanks, Hellbats, and Vikings all going to be pushing in. And actually, all of a sudden, GuMiho as well, 4th and 3rd, is going to be in trouble. Oh, well, there's a lot of Ravens here, but they're going to get targeted down because Optimus is not playing attention, but he does get a couple of PDDs in the end. Is that enough? This Liberator here is going to help. He's actually just going to land these units, and he's just going to fight the ground game rather than the high ground game. Now, we are seeing Hellbats picking away at all of these SCVs up here, so that's nice already. The CC has to land as well. Again, Optimus, if he had just a bit more, well, if he used that other Raven a little bit faster, maybe he could have done something. Unfortunately, it didn't. There's a ship weapons upgrade as well from GuMiho, which will help him in the skies, but Optimus is the player who's still maxed out with mech against a 60, against a 140 supply GuMiho, who's now supply blocked as well. Tanks are going to start firing away on these Marauders. Hellbats to tank. The Vikings will land too. Optimus doesn't know what to target with his tanks, it feels like a little bit. Vikings here and everything for Optimus, trying to help clean out, but it's GuMiho who's dropped below 100 supply. It's Optimus who's at 170, and I think GuMiho is really starting to maybe bite the dust here a little bit in game number 1. Again, you guys were doubting Optimus going into game number 1 of this, but it's Optimus who's looking to maybe come out in the lead. Again, Vikings going to keep on moving around just a little bit here. Is going to be seeing these tanks and Vikings and Liberators joined up together still. Still joined up together, getting ready to go. You can see a lot of Hellions up the top side too. Going to try and see what else they can get up to. Coming through this direction. Going to be seeing the Hellions just going to pass through this this watchtower. Tank, Marines, and Marauders here. Going to be sat around as we do see again a little bit of a poking around, seeing what's up. Optimus just lining a little bit more damage. His next army coming across the map. He's got a lot more in the air once again. And I really feel as though this time GuMiho might have issues trying to find an answer to this. I mean, already a couple tanks just sieging up, and, well, what do you really do? I mean, GuMiho will slow this down just because of this slight choke point here in the center. More Marines and Marauders to the left-hand side, Liberators and Vikings as well in the skies, and again, pushing forward, see these tanks going to be taking quite a bit of damage. A few of them going down before they siege. As they do siege, the Marauders are going to start getting annihilated. Ooh, these Vikings of Optimus actually took a bit of a beating there to the Liberators of his opponents. He actually lost a lot of them to the splash damage. The thing is, though, Optimus is just ready to go with another army yet again, and that's the issue here for GuMiho. Over time, there's just no real way for him to kind of keep up with reinforcements after reinforcements when he's 33 SCVs to 71. There's just no way that really works out, as Optimus here maybe not even realizing just how good a position he is right now. Two Hellions to the left-hand side as well, going to try and see what they can get up to, as GuMiho going to currently be moving his Vikings over in this direction, dropping the gold base down here as well, and you can sort of see how this is becoming a bit of an interesting expansion pattern at the moment. You know, being able to take these bases down here, etc. Currently watching GuMiho's first-person perspective as he tries to rally around and get set up, but he's actually just going to GG out the side. A blue Terran player. Give it up, guys, if you're going to be cheering on System Gaming's GuMiho. And looking to open with a proxy here on Catalyst, it's going to be our red Terran player. Give it up for Dead Pixels Optimus. can see him on his picture-in-picture, focused on getting these barracks building. Racks, and then gas, and then second racks. Potentially Marauders, possibly Reapers, of course. It's a little bit of a chop tree for both. Reapers are generally the more popular variant of this, but we'll see how he goes. Because he's kind of setting them up to attack from the front, I guess there isn't really a lot of Reaper space on this map, actually, so there's maybe just going to be Marauders here. So you are going to be seeing this setup getting going. I do like this map as well. Again, I mean, you know, not every map has to have something crazy going on, right? And this really is, I think, the definition of standard. Does something interesting in the center, like these rocks as well. It's not really going to get to see much of a macro game on this, as you're going to be seeing these couple of racks building. And getting this set up. So Reaper's going to be the choice here from Optimus in the early stages, getting this set up and ready to roll. Obviously, first Reaper on the way out from GuMiho. He plays second gas, and so he is looking to build here into a double gas build, allowing him to go into a faster factory. That is immediately a big thumbs up for GuMiho in this situation where he isn't scouting, etc., because it does from the get-go mean he's going to have some faster units coming out of the factory, which will help to deflect these Reapers right from the get-go. Now, something I find interesting is Optimus does just send these SCVs straight back home, doesn't actually bring them forwards with his Reapers to try and help tank and to nibble away maybe. You never know when that little bit of SCV damage might make the difference, or when your SCV soaks that one shot that could save the entire game. But he's just going to be pushing on through. And Optimus just going to wait for the second Reaper here. Because again, you know, GuMiho hasn't scouted, right? And so GuMiho, very blind to this, doesn't necessarily know what's going on. So Optimus just waiting for the surprise factor. Give GuMiho as little time as possible to prepare for it. And I mean, as these Reapers jump into the main base, well, now you get to see the action coming on through. He's going to grab one Reaper here right away. It is just going to go down. That's immediately not great. A Cyclone on the way up. Second Reaper will pop out, and this one will be protected by SCVs in a moment, I imagine. You'll see a grenade going down as SCVs are going to start dropping as well. Starport delayed. That's important because Optimus needs to buy time to get something that can deal with Starport units up in the game. His own factory build. Now the Cyclone is about to pop, and Optimus only 2 workers killed so far. There's not kind of a lot of damage to the point where it's game ending or anything. As we're actually going to be seeing this Cyclone Reaper pushing that away. Again, Reaper throwing down a grenade. I'm just going to be seeing again the Cyclone try and push forwards, but good grenades to kind of keep it away. And as we're going to be seeing another one more Reaper just being built. So 5 Reapers total as the racks are beginning to lift. And now the Starport building back at home from Optimus. His own Cyclone on the way out too. Getting set up into a follow-up here. Reactor actually building on the barracks for GuMiho. As you can see, set up into this. Take that picture-in-picture away, guys. Just there to kind of show you guys a little bit of the micro coming in from Optimus' side of things. What he was focusing on at points. And we're just going to be seeing again Reapers kind of fighting at the front. One more Reaper going down, another grenade. There's one Reaper left here. The Cyclone is just so scary, though. The damage output on that will just, well, I mean, we've already seen it shredding Reapers, and it's exactly what it's really, you know, designed to do in terms of the unit that GuMiho made. He needs something to shred those Reapers. He needs something to turn it away. This barracks taking some damage right now. And again, just going to be seeing these Reapers going for another grenade to push those Cyclones around. Another couple of nice grenades right there. CC coming down on the natural expansion here from GuMiho. And again, those 2 Cyclones currently working their way through this barracks. Really pushing their way through it here. Couple of Marines of GuMiho going to be working their way through this barracks as well. What on earth was that noise? That was a very scary noise. Something sounds like something is like in the room with me, but there isn't. I hope. I don't think. A little bit awkward. Yeah, Reaper picks off another SCV right there and just slow down the CC of Optimus. GuMiho CC building as well as these 4 Reapers going to come on in. 2 Cyclones. The Cyclones left at home from Optimus, I guess, is maybe kind of interesting. The fact he doesn't want to try and come and use these aggressively to try and get something done. Kind of intriguing. We're going to be seeing this Liberator from GuMiho coming back down towards the lower right side. The Reapers as well from Optimus just continue to set up and see what else he can do. This Reaper comes back in, man. This Reaper's been causing so much chaos. I mean, now the Cyclones come over with the help of the medevac to micro. Liberator actually got pushed away pretty easily. Banshee here as well to help out. Now there's 2 Cyclones here. Well, now it is a bit more focus on the front. First Reaper goes down very quickly, but I think Optimus realizing here he's not going to be able to do too much more. Looks under the Cyclone again. Gets the... Oh, wow, no way. That wasn't the final shot. He needed one more. 4 health Liberator right now as he just dropped down and... gets the Liberator, but loses the Cyclone and kind of the rush to maybe get that. Continuing to loop around here, looking to see what else is happening. Marine Cyclones and a tank from GuMiho now going to push across the map. And here's GuMiho is in that army supply lead, but actually leaves his main base open to attack. No turret on the high ground. I mean, every single SCV in the natural will go down. He could just lift up into the medevac after this. I mean, he could go into the main. Yeah, okay, Banshee can chase, but maybe not forever. Optimus here again doesn't have a CC on the low ground. Just wants to try and help himself defend here. Siege tank going to siege up very aggressively though from GuMiho, so he sets up right from the get-go here, and supply depots starting to go down. Optimus knows this. Right on in. This is Grime. Probably one of my favorite maps. I think my favorite standard map that was submitted to the map contest, and we had a big argument about this one in the judging phase. We'll get into why in just a second. To the top left-hand side, it is going to be our blue Terran player from Sidestorm Gaming, GuMiho, tying it up 1-1 against Dead Pixels Optimus, our red pro Terran player, in the lower right-hand side of the map. So, let's talk about the map again. So we didn't get to look at the preview before we went into this. I do like this one. Kind of droppable in towards the main, kind of an exposed this side of the main base. But that is kind of made up for by giving you a very easy natural expansion. You know, it's set back and everything. Again, droppable. And then the third base is a bit far forwards, but of course you sit on the third base and you're naturally defending the natural. Now, one of the problems with the third is there is a bit of a siege up position you can use here. And this is what we had a big discussion about. If there's a siege tank here and a siege tank here, is it too good being able to kind of shell over here? It doesn't reach, with the position the tanks can siege, it doesn't reach this, the Nexus or whatever, or the CC, but it does reach this area. Does that put too much pressure on the other player? My argument was that no, it's not, because, first of all, the siege in the third is a bit later in the game, and you generally have ways to counteract that. You can come around this way, through these rocks, you can come through these rocks and up there. I don't know, I felt as though there was ways to play around it, and that's what, one of our big discussions, and that's why some people didn't like this map so much. Middle map is fairly standard as well. We see just a couple of something to just split it up a little bit to create a couple more pathways. There's a high ground that goes up towards the left-hand side too, and I have to say I actually do like these far left and far right bases. It'll be very interesting to see any games which get towards those, considering that they'd kind of have to go. I mean, the choice is there, right? You can expand upwards and kind of play a bit differently, or you can expand along the bottom side and the left side, or to the right side. It's an interesting sort of choice here, as we're going to be getting into Grime for our third game of our third series today. Again, after this, we're going to be halfway through our matches of the day here, in day number 1 of the Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament by WardiTV, sponsored by Blizzard. And yeah, obviously so far the group's shaping up. Not really too many surprises. Hero and GuMiho. GuMiho wins against Hero 2-1. Hero wins against Su 2-1. Players just trading maps this series, no real kind of standing just yet. After this, we will have GuMiho versus Su, by the way, followed by Su versus Optimus, and Hero versus Optimus to finish our day. Ripper continues to move on along to the right-hand side as 2 Cyclones load up. Optimus loves this kind of double Cyclone drop. He's been doing it a lot lately and just keeps on using it game after game, so I'm interested to see what he can maybe do with it this time around. Meanwhile, there is going to be a Reaper from GuMiho, just going to be popping in towards the main base. You can see in the picture it's just going to go for a bit of a scout, but let's watch these Cyclones. Not just a scout, but might get some damage done. Yeah, there's a Hellion there. Okay, well, let's watch these Cyclones then. They unload, and obviously they're going to try and pick up some work kills over the next few moments. And, well, there's 2 already. We'll lock on towards that Banshee before moving away, realizing there's probably not going to be too much you can get done with this here. With that Cyclone there as well, it really kind of changes things a little bit. Looks like the tanks over here do reach the CC. 100% do not. They reach to about here. I've seen it with my own eyes. They reach to about here, so they definitely don't reach the base that lands there. And it's one of the things which maybe would have been a game changer on this, being a map which we kind of got through so highly, in towards the finals and into the final stages of the map contest. Wave on the way up from both here. GuMiho just with a slight 4-worker, 5-worker lead in the game so far. Okay, now my window's banging and it made me jump, so I'm gonna have to shut my window. Sorry guys, that really scared me. Like, it just banged really loud. It's very windy today. It gets really windy outside. I don't know if it's better weather for you guys. At least it's not raining. It's been raining here the last few days, but today it's kind of bright but windy. Can't have everything, right? Especially when you live in England. A couple more refineries on the way up here from Optimus so far, so setting up in towards that as this Banshee arrives in the natural expansion. We'll start to look to do some damage. A couple of auto turrets drop down and push that Cyclone away, and actually we'll start doing some damage as well. So Optimus here, gonna get 5, 6, 7, 8 workers killed. It's really nice so far. It's gonna be seeing this Banshee and Raven coming in together. An auto turret dropping. I mean, this is also gonna be a good amount of workers killed as well. From GuMiho. Sorry, that's Optimus's Raven. It's coming in to try and help push this Banshee back. Okay, well, it's going to be 8 workers apiece. There's trades here. Even, obviously, for GuMiho, that's better because he was already on a worker lead. So, looking good for GuMiho here. A few workers ahead. Army supplies even right now. Obviously, that can change up as the game continues still. What's up? Somebody else, SC2, coming in with the sub. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. I do appreciate the support. If you want the replay pack, send me a /w/whisper on Twitch, and I'll send them over to you by the end of the day. Thank you for subscribing. Let's see some love and some hype in the chat for a brand new sub. Do you appreciate it? We're only 12 subs away from 250, 39 sub points away from a sub emote. Exciting times. Thank you for the support, man. Do you appreciate it? GuMiho go for a little bit of a push right now. Going to try and apply some pressure, hoping that if he gets in position, he can maybe make the most of it. But Optimus making Vikings will make that difficult. He's got the Ravens here too, and a defensive tank. Even if it is just one defensive tank. Tanks can do quite a lot, even if it's just one. Well, he's actually got 2, so second one popping out. And here we go. Auto turrets are going to start being dropped. It was actually Optimus to drop a much faster auto turret originally, and that might start putting this into a much better position here for, you know, from Optimus' side of things, being able to kind of just get a bit of progress made because his auto turret is a bit faster. Extra Vikings coming through. He's looking to play mech again, by the way, here, while GuMiho will once again just look to play it in towards that bio style. Combat shields and Stimpack on the way up at the moment as Vikings and Ravens of Optimus still moving around and seeing where they can go. That factory going to lift and going to get ready to land back onto the reactor here in a moment or two. Still going to land that back down in the next few moments. Never scan the main again. GuMiho just sorry, Optimus wants to know what GuMiho is up to, and that is now revealed. Just going to be seeing a couple tanks. Going to be popping out in the next few moments again. Third factory is down onto reactants, so the full set of production is set. Third base from Optimus is ready to move out, but obviously cannot move out because GuMiho right now is just setting up a bit of a soft contain by just sitting towards this third base. Meanwhile, a Raven tries to get in towards the main, but gets shut down before it drops the auto turret. Nice play by Optimus to minimize anything from really happening there. And well, again, we'll see if this time Optimus is going to be able to kind of make the mech play work well enough to take down GuMiho like he was able to on Sky Garden. Was back on game 1 of this series. And again, coming up after this, Su vs GuMiho going to be a very interesting one. Do you see the couple of Hellions and tanks all setting up and getting ready to go? There's auto turrets here to help break this if Optimus does want to push forwards, which he kind of has to at some point soon because he needs to utilize his third CC, right? Liberate Sieges and will get 1 tank kill. Not quite a third shot there. Pushes 1 tank back though, and other tanks will in siege now as well to relocate. GuMiho thinking about where exactly he's going to relocate to. He's actually just going to push a bit further up. He's got reinforcements coming in still. And here we go, all the turrets dropping down to help fight this. The tanks are sieged in the back. And this Liberator is doing quite a lot of damage as well, and they will clean up every single one of those Marines. And now tanks falling as well. GuMiho's been very much so shut down here. Tanks kind of move into a corner where they're not going to be able to be shut down by Liberators. They can definitely be shut down by landing Vikings. I think that's what these Vikings want to do, but has to be careful. Nachi isn't going to be able to pick up those tanks. It's a nice getaway from GuMiho. Some nice movement to be able to make that work. I think Optimus should have just landed the Vikings so much faster when he got into this position here, and those tanks were there. Shouldn't have hesitated about it. Should have just gone. Obviously, though, from our perspective, it's much easier to see that. Hindsight is everything as well, of course, a very powerful tool. More and more units coming across the map here. GuMiho just rallying away from these 3 bases. So a fairly simple kind of rally map, I suppose. Kind of, again, coming from the third and straight down and through. A slight little jaunter through the center. I guess one of the issues of this map might just be before 4 bases, what else really happens other than moves through the center, you know, because you don't have the third base in a position which promotes usage of the left side or the right side of the map. So it really is so much more about this middle pathway. I mean, obviously, I guess apart from drop play, etc., but I guess that's something to keep in mind. And again, that's what this tournament is for, to test out these maps, to really see them in play and to help decide which is the map which will win the contest. There's prize money on the line for the map makers to be won, based on where their maps place. Medevac and tanks coming down the south side once again. Just going to be starting to work their way through these rocks here. So, rocks taking some damage. Hellions going up the right, about 5 of them. Going to be coming through and getting ready to poke and prod away, starting to do some harassment damage. And then we'll see if Optimus is going to be able to slow GuMiho down enough to make his mech play work. Obviously wants to keep himself alive throughout this as well. Scans being dropped again as Hellions will move on in. While that happens, GuMiho is starting to take a little bit of a position over here. Rose in position will help to defend this, and again Optimus doesn't actually get too much done. Cancels this 4th base, builds a bit closer there. And then this kind of siege up from the low ground. So it shows you a bit about how that kind of position can go, but not really kind of pushing forwards. Again, this position here may be a bit scary, but in this situation Optimus has tanks in location to stop that from happening. And again, 4th base already up for the bio play is how it needs to be, because without an extra base, you find yourself in this weird position where you don't really have a way to kind of stay in the game. Because you're generally going to be trading much worse than the mech player is. 7 workers killed here in the end. GuMiho on 70 workers still though. Good economy, able to remax quickly. Now that he is maxed out, he's going to be able to start building up that bank to help rebuild again in the future. And that means, that's when GuMiho's army becomes dangerous here. He can start moving around more, he can start looking to take fights and trading off and all the rest of it. A lot of Hellions to the left, and again, a few Marines and Marauders coming in. Gonna be able to push those Hellions back right there as a Hellbat drop actually comes in towards the 4th base again. Optimus really throwing whatever he can his opponent's way. Some Liberators coming up in this direction too. GuMiho being very patient about how he moves around, because again, it's very hard to kind of stop his opponent from moving, from being on 3 bases, but it'll be a bit easier to stop it being on 4 bases. GuMiho now up to a 5th base as his main base orbital relocates to the left-hand side. Maybe that's what those Hellions are hoping to hit, but just run straight into that army once again. Isn't really going to be able to do much at all. Liberator siege up to the top side. Obviously, have to fly past the missile turret here, but as he does fly past it, again he gets in position for a few worker kills. He'll continue to look to be annoying over the next few moments as now GuMiho will gather everything together again. As the 4th base gets taken from Optimus, everything will be split a bit further up, and that's where GuMiho's opportunities to do damage with this bio is going to become a bit more viable and a bit more powerful. So, setting up in towards this. We've seen these Marines and Marauders pushing forwards again. We're going to see a couple of Hellions going to get caught. CC gets taken down, and we do see some SCVs being picked off as well. But again, these Marines able to pick their way through a few of them. So, some SCVs being picked off, another scan overhead, and we are just going to be seeing Optimus just getting revealed right there. Scan on either side. Libra is finally cleaned up right now. 67 to 58 workers favoring GuMiho. He's got 2-1 against 1-1 at the moment. He does have 2 armor and 3 attack on the way. Those Hellions take the charge here again. It's just going to be enough to push this back. The question is, does GuMiho try and switch into Sky Terran again, or does he just sit on just the continued bioproduction for now? I mean, obviously, we'll see over time here. So Auto's dropping down again. Vikings getting to work clean out the medevacs, etc. A lot of Autos were actually used right here. No libs left over to actually push back the siege tanks that are really left at the very end of this. And so Optimus doesn't really have much of an option. At the same time, though, we're going to see this big drop into the main base, and so Optimus is going to have to start dealing with that right now. And that's going to start picking away at a lot of his production. This is where Optimus might just start to really fall apart here. I mean, there's going to be 2 factories, not just being kind of denied to Tech Lab or Reactor, they're going to straight up get killed. So 1 factory down, 2 factories down, pushing forward. We're going to see 1 tank picked off. 2nd tank going down as well, and just continued damage being pushed out right now. 4th tank also getting picked away at. GG from Optimus. He's not going to try and keep on fighting this. He is also starting to lose his 4th base to that push that we saw previously.